Hey, welcome back to week 3 of this incredible YouTube live event, how to launch and scale your perfect online business. And there's no greater way to kickstart week 3 than video marketing. Obviously, it's what we're doing right now. Like, look at this sexy background over there. That is just it. Mwah. It used to have blue lights and sexiness, but we'll deal with this for now. So we do have Michael David Roberts, who is a video coach.
Filmmaker, video coach, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I knew I was missing something. I just can't remember which one it was.
Don't worry.
So yeah, video coach extraordinaire. He's got ridiculous amounts of followers and subscribers on YouTube. He's got his channel monetized. He makes passive income from his YouTube channel, even though he forgets to check how much he's made. I do remember that post.
That money's already been spent.
So today we are going to talk about video, how to create a good video, because it's blowing up, isn't it? Like, what's been your experience over video marketing in the last 2 years?
What's changed? let's actually, talk about how video was before then. Now, obviously, video is becoming more and more well known. More and more people are jumping into video. But I think since the pandemic, a lot of people realized that, lots of people stopped doing their marketing because they thought, I won't market myself because that's going to cost me money. And then a lot of people, when we came back to reality and we came back to face-to-face meetings and started seeing each other again, people like, Mark, quitting my marketing was the worst thing I ever could have done. A lot of people now realize that video actually kept a lot of businesses open because we were Zooming every week. We were jumping onto YouTube and learning things and creating videos to talk about what we sell as business owners, because people couldn't move outside the house. So video has become more prominent in people's minds. There is still a lot of people that are hesitant to do it because it comes down to a few factors of things. It comes down to lack of confidence, lack of knowledge of how to actually write content and break it down, so it could be overwhelming. So there are still a lot of people hesitant to create video. And what always makes me laugh is the fact that we all have smartphones. Pretty much 99% of the population have smartphones. So we have this amazing tool to use in our business to create videos, and people just don't do it because they just, there's an unknown aspect to the whole thing. Well, how do I create videos? What do I say? Will people take me seriously? And a lot of it comes down to mindset and perception. So once you actually start breaking down those boundaries and having that conversation of how to create video, how to look good on video, how to address an audience, how to write content, it's like, why wasn't I doing this years ago? So in answer to your question, I think a lot more people now are really wising up to video, and they're pushing themselves out their comfort zone to actually say, yeah, I'm gonna start creating video content for my business.
And you know what I mean? That was me. Like, for instance, because I remember, like, a couple of years ago, you gave me tips on video. Like, listen, do this, do this, do this, and I was like, right, okay, right. Like, you sort of forced me to go more on video.
I would never force anybody.
Not like by the throat.
Gently nudged.
You gently nudged me with a whack. But yeah, like, obviously, you sort of like give me the right. No, you can do it. It's okay. It's easy enough. Like, I've still got my gimbal literally sat here. That basically I bought when you told me to.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, we got gimbals. We got gimbals.
But my first thing, and it's always the same. I should have started a YouTube channel back in 2019 when I got told to, and it didn't.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Exactly. It was that fear. It was that fear. Oh, I don't know how to video edit. I don't know how to talk on camera. I don't know how to like put myself out there. Obviously, like if I go to I get stage fright. So putting myself like on a stage and talking and stuff like that really scares me. So video is exactly the same.
Yeah.
You come across this every single day when you're working with your clients, when you're working with your students. Like, what advice have you got, like, to get past that barrier?
I love that question. In fact, I love all questions. But what I would say to that one is, so obviously I'm an actor, professional actor. So I've worked in TV and film, and obviously, I now work in film from the other side. But even I get stage fright if I go to a networking meeting, especially if I go to a BNI meeting. I'm a president of a chapter in BNI. And for those that don't know what BNI is, it's networking referral group. So we all help each other get business. And in my group, absolutely comfortable. Stand up, I present the weekly meeting, keep to time. But if I go to another networking group, which is the same BNI but a different group, I can get stage fright. I can get that feeling where my throat is clamming up and I'm getting heart palpitations. But then you take a deep breath and go, well, you know what you're talking about, Mike. And it's about how you those fears and that stage fright and that closing up of the throat, it never goes away. But it's how, some people let that absolutely destroy them, or people go, right, just control your breathing and just think you've got this. The reason why I still get like that is because I care about what I'm talking about. And I want to come across as professional as possible. And in my head, just before I know that I'm going to get up and do a 60-second presentation, I know that you just go, well, just breathe, because if you get worked up, you're not going to come across right. And the fact that you teach people confidence, that's not good. So there's more onus on me to not do that. But it happens. It happens. And some people watching this right now might be thinking, wow, he's so relaxed on camera and I wish I could do that. You can. I've already made some stumbles with my words already, and it's okay to not be perfect. I think we have this perception when we create video marketing, for our businesses, that everything has to be perfect. I always liken videos to Christmas Day, because every Christmas, as families, we all want it to be perfect, and we all have different ideas of how perfect should be. So there's always arguments, there's always squabbling, there's always this and that, and you're never going to create a perfect day. So that's what I'm like with videos. It's okay to stumble. It's okay to say or as long as you don't do it too much and it doesn't distract the viewer away from the content that is given, it's okay to do it. There's no way I could have come on this call and not stumbled or not, messed up with some of my words. But I come across natural. I come across as you would talk to me in the street. Lots of people that I meet for the first time on social media. I met a lady on the weekend who I'd known for years on Facebook. She went, "You're just like you are in your videos." And when you can get to that comfortable stage where you are just who you are, it's okay. It's fine. Just be you. It's actually, more people find it more endearing when you are making those slight little stumbles, those slight little ums and ahs, because we all do it. But people relate to it. People see you as a real human being. So when I create videos for clients, I quite often leave a couple of ums and ahs in there, because it's natural. As long as it doesn't take away from the video and it doesn't take away from what we're trying to create, it's perfectly natural to do it.
And I think that's like, there was a couple of things there that I thought were like quite good. Obviously, the one was like, you admitted within 6 minutes, obviously within 6 minutes, you've already made mistakes on this obviously interview. Yeah. And I was like, and this relates very often to how I sort of go, well, they didn't know what you were going to say, so how do they know you made the mistake? So the
Absolutely.
only person you're internalizing and punishing is yourself.
And you're absolutely right. And I teach that in my new workshop. I've got a workshop that I'm doing at the moment, which will be an online course, but it's in the workshop stage. And we talk about mindset and perception. As an actor, I used to go out on stage and I would literally walk out on stage and go, "Don't forget your lines, don't forget your lines, don't forget your lines." And, sometimes when you're waiting for that next cue, your mind goes blank, you're thinking, what's the next line? There is always another actor that will prompt you. You will always get back on track. And the audience are none the wiser. So it's about the perception of an audience and what you think they are thinking and what they're actually thinking. So no one goes to the theatre to watch a show and go, "Oh, I hope an actor forgets his lines and falls off the stage." That's not the mindset of anybody paying money to go and watch a show. They want to be entertained. It's simple as. But an actor walks out thinking, "I'm going to mess up tonight. I'm going to mess up tonight." And then the minute they get that audience, the minute they feel, right, this is a good audience, they're with me, they relax and they can just perform. But there's always that initial walking out on stage, you're thinking, "Oh, I hope it goes well tonight." You get your first laugh and it's like, "I'm comfortable, let's do this." So, it is mental that a lot of us, when we think of video marketing, we think, "Oh no, people, say an accountant, oh no, I'm not going to make any videos because I might get something wrong. I might say the wrong thing." And okay, accountants, solicitors, financial advisors, they are all regulated to a degree and they all have to be pretty precise on what they're talking about. But 9 times out of 10, they do. And once we get past this stage of worrying and what we think an audience thinks, put yourself in their shoes. Put yourself in the shoes of somebody. So when you watch somebody's video on LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, and you're watching a video, do you actually sit and watch? I hope he makes a mistake. I hope she makes a mistake. It's just not what you think, but that is what you think when you're creating videos. Oh, I hope people don't laugh at me. Why would people laugh at you unless you give them a reason to laugh at you? So it's mad, isn't it? But it's all mindset, and once you break down those barriers and go, oh, that's why I think like that. And just quickly, I know I'm rambling, but the whole thing around I hate the way I sound on camera, that is a brilliant one, because I used to work as a stage technician at the Royal Liverpool Philharmonic Hall, and all the time I'd listen to massive bands from like the 80s and 90s that were touring, but I would always be backstage. So it always sounded distorted and muffled, and the sound always sounded terrible. But when you're in an audience, there is a sound design, there are speakers that are set up for the audience to hear the music perfectly. But when you're backstage, it sounds terrible. Now, if you think of this here, there's like a wall in between your ears and where your mouth is. Now, we're projecting our voices outwards, right? So people hear us in a certain way, but we hear our voice rattling around our brain, vibrating all over the place, and then it bounces off the walls and comes back to us. So when people say I don't like the sound of my voice, that's purely because you're hearing your natural voice for the first time. And a lot of people they can't put that together. They think, oh, I just sound terrible on videos. So automatically they don't want to create videos, but they're actually hearing what everybody else hears. But it's not until
That's a good one, because that's one I always think. I'm like, I was like,
I mean, you do sound weird, but I mean,
because I was like, do I really sound that scouse? Like, compared to obviously back here, obviously it's distorted. Obviously it's different. It's a different
but
depth,
even
and
if
I'm
you
like,
do
really?
sound scouse, just that's you. You know, why does sounding too scouse? Why is that? Why is that a negative in your mindset? Do you know what I mean? We all have accents. We all come from somewhere, and even when we think we don't have an accent, you go 20 miles out of Cheshire and people go, oh, wow, you're Scouse, you from Liverpool? I'm like, no, I'm from Ellesmere Port in Cheshire. So it's irrelevant really how we think, and we shouldn't think about how we think. We should be thinking, the main thing we should be thinking when creating video content is, when I talk on this video today, am I giving value? Am I storytelling? Am I giving someone a reason to watch this content? And that's the one thing that people don't even think about. They just think, oh, I'm going to make a video and talk about this today. But what you're talking about, is it giving them value? Are you storytelling that leads to an end result that will give them more information on how you can help them, why this video has even been created? So there's a lot of things you have to think about before you create videos.
So let's move into that, because that's obviously that's starting to get like the foundations of the production. So obviously, like we've gone through the mindset. It's obviously like voice. Don't worry about how you sound. That is literally how you sound. You just hear it from a different angle day to day. So obviously, that's how everyone hears you anyway. So it's no big surprise to everyone. It's just a big surprise to you. And just let it go. And then obviously jumping on camera, don't worry about your mistakes. People don't know it's a mistake if you change your word halfway through, and it's fine. It's natural. I love to see YouTube videos from channel creators that leave their mistake in, and then they do something funny, like a little like, oh wait, zzz, and then play like the right version and stuff like that. So showing people that you're natural in terms of, it's okay.
It's quite funny. I shared some bloopers during the pandemic. I think I can't remember what I was filming a valued video for something, and I just literally collated a month's worth of loads of bloopers, and people said, I couldn't believe that you did that. Like, you teach this. I'm like, yeah, I teach it, but it doesn't mean I don't do it. Like, I don't just turn a camera on and I'm perfect. I mean, today's just obviously a very rare occasion where you've caught me in the mood. But when I want to talk about something, say I'm talking about how to film in landscape, I'm constantly thinking, right, how do I break this down? I'll say this, and this. I'm going to make mistakes, simple as. But the great thing about what I do is I edit it all together to make it look seamless. But that's my job. That's my job to do that. So obviously it's going to come across looking professional, but to show people that side where you make mistakes just like everybody else, it's like, oh, well, if Michael can do it, then I shouldn't put so much pressure on myself. It's like, no, you shouldn't. So,
and you're right, as you say, like obviously mistakes happen all the time. We're human, we're not a robot. We are going to say something wrong. Obviously, it sounded better in our head and it didn't come out right. And that happens all day long. It's just natural. And as you say, like it's okay. Obviously, with the editing features, we do get to chop a lot of them out. Obviously, as long as it's natural within the process. Now, you started to speak about like the value, like how do you structure your video, like the making sure you get value. Like, how would you make sure each and every video is valuable to the viewer?
So the key things is that I teach is that, how many times have you? I mean, I know I've got a Volkswagen camper van, and the amount of times something breaks and I have to go and find a video where someone has created a video. Oh, this is broke. This is how to fix it. And you end up skipping 8 minutes because they've waffled on about how they bought their van, how it makes them happy, and today I'm going to teach you how to do this. Nobody cares about your life story. If they want your life story, they will follow you and they will learn it over time, or they will pick up the phone and go, "Oh, tell me a life story. I'm really interested in who you are." The key thing to do when creating video is don't be selfish. Don't self-indulge in your own content. When you're creating a video, the first things you should do is literally, I mean, I have pretty much a script. So say, for example, how to film in landscape. I will say, hello and welcome to this week's video. This is how to film in landscape with me, Michael David Roberts. So let's go. So first of all, we are going to pick up our phone and we are going to talk about how to film in landscape and why we should film in landscape. So you're just straight in. Nobody needs to know a life story. If you want to tell people a life story, make a video about me. Make sure that when you post a video, the title of what it is, so when people are scrolling, they go, "Oh, how to make videos in the landscape." I need to know that. Why do I need, So they press play. How to film in landscape. Hi, my name is Michael. Today, let's jump straight in. So automatically, you're not wasting any time, and you're giving them what they need. So that is giving them value. They've seen it. They press play because like, yeah, I need to know how to film in landscape or why I should. I'll press play. Instantly, within the first couple of seconds of the video, you're into the content. Give them what they need. Be that person of authority within your industry. So be the influencer of your industry. So when I put videos out there, it's because I want to help people understand how to create videos better. So all my videos are valued content. So say an accountant, there's always changes coming in by the government, that you as a business, they're talking about going paperless. They want everyone to be digital in the next 2-3 years. That's a great video. So a valued video for an accountant could be, did you know you have to do this by a set time? This is how you do it. I'm going to talk you through it. Hi, my name is. Let's get on. So everybody has content. Everybody has something to talk about within their business. Start becoming that influencer of what you do. So it becomes second nature then when you get into that rhythm of, well, I'm going to make a list of 5 things. I'm going to make 5 videos this week and I'm going to talk about a set thing. So I might talk about confidence. So I'll theme the week, confidence week. I'll do a video per day, 1 to 5. What is confidence? How to be confident? First steps in being confident, and break it down into 5 videos and then just bullet point 3 things that you want to talk about in that video. Give people a bit of value. So they go, oh, his videos are quite good. I'm always learning little things from him. He's got a course. I might actually go on his course. Automatically, people have, by giving free advice, you are helping people, but also you're saying, well, if you actually want to go a bit more in depth, I do have a course. I do have a course, by the way. You can go into a course and you can learn a bigger range of value. But then whenever you need a video or you need help with a video, you can go, Michael, I needed help with this. Yeah, sure. So do you know what I mean? It's about building your own brand, really, in the sense that you are giving value to show that you know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and as you say, it's I like the way you're like, right, okay, topics, ding, ding, ding. I was like subtopics within that topic, 1, 2, 3. And as you say, like, if you can portray that in like just getting it out there, like obviously, so you say confidence, and then like 3 steps. Obviously, what is confidence? Think next one, like how to be confident. 1, 2, 3. Like all those different type of things gradually build up and grow as you say to that person, going, yeah, you've got a film, the smartphones workshop, and I need it. I'm sure I need how to film with smartphones. So those little snippets each day consistently, as you build up that authority and brand. And I'm literally going through. I go through the same process all the time. Like at the moment, I'm binge watching a couple of like YouTubers and how to grow your YouTube channel and stuff like that. And obviously, the way they've structured the videos gives us the value, and then obviously the plug in there. I think it's called Project 24, the plugin Project 24. I've looked at it a couple of times, might jump into it, all because it's like, well, yeah, I've got so much value here, 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 and here, and here. It increases it reduces the barrier to entry to purchase. It reduces that wall that people need to jump over to get the credit card out just by, I say, that personality, that influence, that authority in those videos. Go right, ding, ding, ding. Here you go. Don't be scared to give too much away. Would you agree?
At the end of the day, even though I give value in my videos, most of that content is in my online course. But the thing is, it's how. So obviously, when I have an online course, it's everything. It's literally start to finish. You will walk away knowing how to make a video. Now, you could literally sit through all of my videos and only get a handful of what I'm trying to get at. With the course, I go, well, okay, eye contact, making sure you look at the lens, not at the screen. Actually make your audience watching your video accountable. Look at them in the eye. And I guarantee you, your engagement will go up because you're making them accountable. If you're actually looking at them, they're thinking, oh, he's looking at me. So they're more accountable to go, oh, I need to watch this. It's subconscious. They're not actually thinking that, but it's subconscious. If you go to a coffee shop and we went for a coffee and I'm like talking over here, you're going to be thinking this, you're just going to lose interest. But when I look at you from across the coffee table and we have a conversation, we're engaging with each other. And a lot of people don't.
Beautiful eyes.
Yeah, a lot of people don't. The amount of times I go on LinkedIn and Facebook, or when people post photos and they've got a selfie, so they're like this to the camera and they're like just looking like slightly off, and it's because they're looking at the screen. They're not actually looking at the lens. And most phones have a little green light that flashes when my camera's on. I think the little green light, or when I'm filming, the little green light's on. Just look at the lens. Look at the little green light. Get used to looking at the camera lens.
I remember that being one of your biggest tips for me when I first started.
Oh, it's massive. It's massive because it's an instant win. If you're making videos one day and you're looking just off and you talk and you're thinking, wow, nobody actually looks at my videos. But then the next day you go, hi, today I'm going to talk to you about that. The massive improvement that makes.
Yeah, because I know, obviously, for instance, I'm talking to you now. But obviously, when I first started, it was like, right, okay, I will talk and I will make sure I am okay, I'm looking fine. And they say, I'm not talking to you. I mean, you can clearly see I'm not. Like, where's you go? Right, okay, yeah, that was the first tip you give me, was basically look at that lens, engage your audience, and be there for your audience. You basically don't self-indulge. Stop watching yourself. And to be fair,
and also when people don't have confidence, sorry, I was just going to say, with people that don't have confidence, the worst thing you can do is look at yourself. So, I mean, obviously, since we've been on the call, I've looked at you a handful of times. And if I look at you now, I'm not even anywhere near where I need to be looking. So when I'm on Zoom calls, I never look at the other person because I'm too focused on looking at. And they look at me because they're not used to looking at the. If two people looked at the camera lens, it's got to benefit someone, right? Do you know what I mean? So, if we're both looking, that's just a waste of a Zoom call. But yeah, when I'm talking, because obviously it's what I do, I've trained myself now to look directly at the camera lens. So it's all interesting stuff. But when you actually, with what I do in the course, and that teaches you what's like lighting, sound, composition. It teaches you everything from, going for just a simple smartphone as well, literally just a simple smartphone, and how to actually make it look cinematic. Now, I know, like you said, when we first came onto the call, that I normally have big flashy blue lights, but I've moved my desk around. So I'm in the process of still figuring out my light setup, because I'd literally have only had 2 days in which to do it. But I'm lit. You can see that I'm lit, and then I've got a light on the backdrop, and then I've got some lighting there on the side. So that's like your atmospheric background lighting, mood lighting, as they call it. So things like that is important. But so many people film right up against the big wall, especially a big white wall. You have to give yourself distance at the back so that people focus on you. So as you can see, the back is just out of focus. It's got a depth of field on it. So you are just focusing on me. So everything's set up in this setup for you to focus on me. Because if that was in focus, you'd be reading the posters and going, what's scariest places? What's morbid? So, it's really important to take all of these things, light and sound, composition, understanding your backdrop, understand how to talk in front of a camera, how to be confident. All of these things make a massive difference when creating video.
And as you say, like, obviously, a lot of people start, like, as you say, white wall. I've done the same. Obviously, it was my whiteboard. I've just changed it round. I'm still pretty close to a wall. But as you say, like, all these little things.
You're getting better.
Slowly, mate, slowly.
But it's a journey. Video's a journey. This setup here that I've got now, I mean, it's not obviously the setup I'm used to, but this is what I dreamt of 10 years ago when I started my business. I was like, I'd love to have a really cool LED lights on the wall, this, that, and the other. And it's like, well, you have to work up to that. It's taken me 10 years to get there. Yes, I probably could have done it in 2 years or 3 years, but in my personal journey, it's taken me 10 years to get to a position where I'm actually going, yeah, the content I'm producing, I'm really happy with. And in 10 years from now, I'll be like, bloody hell, why did I film like that with that light in? It's terrible. Because you're constantly learning, constantly growing. And what I do now will be wrong in 10 years' time. So am I gonna get upset about that? No, because I don't know the information yet. I think we've got to stop taking ourselves too seriously. We really have. Just get content out there. And if you're giving value, storytelling, leading to something, then just do it. And just understand that your first couple of videos are going to be a bit rubbish. But as long as you're trying, and as long as you're learning, and as long as you're watching videos to improve your videos and jumping on courses to teach yourself how to be better, what more can you ask for?
I think, obviously, like, when you say, like, your first couple of videos are rubbish, they're always rubbish.
They
One
always
thing I
will be.
love is when you first start creating video content, and the beauty is, no one's watching, no one's listening. You haven't built that authority, you haven't built that video brand, you haven't taught your audience to watch your videos. So no one's watching them anyway. It's a journey for you in
trial and error,
isn't it?
And the great thing is, like, Gary Vee, although he had a bit of money to start out anyway, so he didn't come out of absolutely nowhere. But obviously the video content that he pushes out is insane. Like, I don't know anybody that pushes out as much content as him, but he has a team now. For example, say somebody was to hire me to do some videos for them, and they wanted a series of videos to go out over the period of 6 months or whatever, and you hire me. Yes, they would look aesthetically pleasing. They would be bob on, and I would get you to a confident position to actually come across as good as you can. However, I always advise people to start creating videos themselves before they even think about hiring me for videos, because at the end of the day, depending on who you are as a person, if you're quite confident and it doesn't bother you, then yeah, that's absolutely fine. But having professional videos, paying a lot of money for a professional video, only to not feel 100% confident within yourself when you are talking to camera. I always say to people, start creating videos, start getting used to it, start building up that confidence within yourself, and then hire me to do some videos, because the performance will just be more natural. You'll flow more, you'll feel more comfortable, you will talk more passionately about your business. So I do always try. Most of the time I talk myself out of work. I'm really bad at that, but I'd rather give people the right information than to just take their money and not have a conscience. So for me, I'm very transparent in the fact that if people need video help, there are a lot of people out there that can scare people, especially 2-3 days can equate to 4 or 5 grand. I'm not going to lie, but it's how you manage expectations, and you actually look at the individual business owner and go, what do you need right now? We don't need a flashy car, actors. We don't need all of that. What we need to do is find out who you are, what you do, why you do what you do, and how we're going to create this video. So I coach people through the process of starting their video journey. So it's really important to make sure that you have, when you are creating videos, that you have somebody that you can go to, whether it be me or anybody that does video, that you have a good relationship with them, because you need to feel comfortable when you are working on a project or being coached to have something filmed.
Yeah, and you know, that comfortable, like working with someone to obviously make you comfortable is a huge thing. Like I remember we were filming in the Hilton, weren't we? We were doing a few videos and we were getting some content out, and I was a mess. It took me ages to get through the first couple, and then it started to roll.
You were a nightmare, I recall.
And then it
And
was
you
like, come on.
blossomed into a lovely flower.
And then you're like, come on, let's go outside. I was like, what? What do you mean outside? No, people can't watch me. And you're like, yes. You took me into the middle of Albert Dock, and you were like, right, start talking. I was like, what do you mean? What do you like? Just talk. I was like, okay. And like, but it was you having that ability to like just relax, get us the ability. Like I would have never in a million years, and I still struggle to shoot videos outside through lack of confidence. I would have never in a million years have walked through the Albert Docks with a video editor or a video recorder and literally have someone recording me. But you gave me that ability to do it.
I did it the other week. I was at the National Trust. I do a vlog every week, and by no means they are not my filming quality. But the vlog is all about, no matter how busy or how quiet your week is, there is no excuse not to create video content and be consistent. So sometimes I do not have time to post a vlog, to the point where I even wait till the Thursday morning to go, haven't done my vlog yet for this week, and it goes out today. It's all about consistency, and it's all about just getting used to creating video content. Now, some weeks I go, I could have really done better there, but it is what it is. There are times when I was at the National Trust 3-4 weeks ago, and I was filming a section, and this girl walks in with her mum, obviously sees me talking to a glass cabinet full of steam train locomotives, and there's me going, oh, this is a steam train. And they laughed and they walked off, and I thought, you know what, I generally do not care, because at the end of the day, 10-15 minutes down the way, they're going to forget you even existed. They will laugh, and if they see you walking around the castle, go, oh, there's that weird guy filming. Who cares? The minute they get in the car, the minute you're out of sight, they forget you even existed. They forget that moment even happened. And that's what you've got to do. You just got to go, would you know what? How many people could actually pick up a camera in Tesco's and go, hi, my name is Michael, and today we are in Tesco's. Let's go. So it's about stop caring what people think. People will laugh at you. Do you know what? I have 4,500 people on my Facebook. Probably don't know half of them, I'll be completely honest. But I know for a fact, half of them probably just like to laugh and joke at the crap that I put out on social media. But then there's the other half that are quite supportive. And at the end of the day, how many people talk themselves out of video when, they'll laugh at somebody doing video in the street, but could they do it themselves? 9 times out of 10, no. 9 times out of 10, when you actually get comments on YouTube, I don't get a lot of negative comments. I had one a couple of weeks ago on LinkedIn. I sorted that one out. I'll tell you about that one later. And it's a case of when you get a negative comment, nine times out of 10, the person that has made a negative comment doesn't even have any videos on their social media, on their YouTube account. They pretty much go on to comment. Keyboard warriors, say it to my face. Say it to my face. The amount of times I've sorry about the Jack Russell. It must be the postman time. But the amount of times that I've had people laughing when I'm doing something, I'm just like, who cares? Who cares? At the end of the day, I've got 10,000 subscribers. Yes, that's probably not the most important thing in the world, and it's not all about how many views and likes you have. But it's like, well, I'm actually doing something with my life. I've actually got a reason for doing this. And a lot of people like the content that I create. So it's a case of, I'm so sorry about the dog.
It's all right.
But we're acknowledging the dog, aren't we? That's what we're doing. And it's always important. When things are out of your control, just acknowledge it. There is a dog. There is a postman. It happens. Whether I still have a dog after today, so yeah, and then obviously negative comments as well. She's going for it today, ain't she? She's absolutely going for it. When you get negative comments, I had a negative comment on LinkedIn, and I'd posted. I literally was just going into a meeting, and I normally snip the beginning and the end on a video if I've done it on my phone. And I literally must have just snipped 4 to 5 seconds at the end, so it cut it a bit too short. And somebody who was not even connected to me on LinkedIn had a go at me and said, as a filmmaker, I expected better from you. So I messaged them privately and just said, look, you're the reason why so many people pay me to teach them confidence, because, you know, the fact that there are people like you in this world that actually give those kind of stupid comments to make you look like you are this amazing social media expert. I'm not going to lose. I kept the video up because I'm not going to lose sleep over the fact that I skipped 3 seconds of a video. Whoop-de-doo. Who cares? Who generally cares? Yes, as a filmmaker, I maybe shouldn't have done that, but I was literally in between a meeting. The content I was creating was quite good. And I couldn't go in and re-edit it. I couldn't put the 3 seconds back on because LinkedIn doesn't let you re-edit the time frames. So it is what it is, and it stayed there. But he deleted his comment. And he said, well, I wasn't trying to be horrible. I said, well, you were bullying. I said, and that's just the way it is. I said, I can handle comments like that from people like you, but my clients can't, not when they're starting out. And that's the reason why so many people do not do video marketing, because of people like you. Sort yourself out and be a better person. I walked away going, yeah. And it's so true. So little people that are trying to do something with their business. Do you know what I mean? I mean, yeah, I shouldn't have skipped 3 seconds of the video, but I generally don't care.
Especially like social media videos, like they don't last long, do they? Like
but he watched to the end. He watched to the end, and that's the thing. So you know,
must have
he watched to the end. So obviously the content was good. So he watched to the end. And the only thing I snipped off was to find out more. Drop me a message if you want to. You know, so it wasn't even.
Wasn't value CTA.
No, it was just, you know, so, but yeah, I just think to myself, like, you know, video is a minefield. Yes, it's pushing you out of your comfort zone, but it's always good to be out your comfort zone. It's how we learn, it's how we grow, it's how we move forward. And I wouldn't be celebrating 10 years of my business if I hadn't created video content over the last 10 years. So it speaks for itself. And I've just gone through a pandemic like everybody else. And I had a record year last year. So when you actually think about those things, you go, well, what kept me relevant? It was video. It speaks for itself.
Yeah, it definitely does. And as you say, like, obviously, negative comments, like the way I see negative comments now is like, you don't get criticized by anyone above you, like anyone who's doing better. Like, you always get criticized by someone who's below, who can't do it, won't do it, scared to do it. They're the people who pull out the criticism because they're miserable, because they're sat at that level. And people who like for instance, obviously, I was putting out video content. You were obviously a better video coach, video marketer, everything. So what did you do? Instead of like commenting on my videos, message me privately, hey, I've got some tips for you if you want them. Like, obviously, you're doing a great job. I'm really proud of you.
Yeah, you're really rubbish. I didn't want to post it on Facebook, but I think this is what you need to know. But do you know what? That's the thing, though, isn't it? It's a case of, well, I am a video coach, so therefore, if I don't reach out and go, look, you can take my advice or you can tell me to do one, that's just as it is. And I don't try to impose too much. But if I know someone's trying, why would I not want to help them? So, you know, I would be a bit of a bad coach if I didn't see something and go, I'm not here to sell. And I'm not. I don't do these talks and I don't do all these things to sell. Obviously, I have a business and I, you know, obviously need to keep the business going, need to keep a roof over my head. However, my mind isn't, oh, how many people am I going to get signed up today? If people generally want to create video, I have the tools to teach them. And I'm quite a good person that I will literally give people my time to actually give them extra stuff to go, right, you've bought this course. Let's jump on a Zoom. Let's go over it. What are you stuck with? I'm not, although I'm a businessman, I'm not money orientated. And you probably go, right, that's probably not the right thing to say. But it's true. I'm a people person, and that's predominantly what I am. You know, and if I'm helping someone, if someone's bought a course or the whatever, I'm there to help them. If they're stuck on something within that course, I'll help them. It's just be a good person. That is what I'm trying to say. Is just be there for people, and when they invest in you, give them that value back.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right, aren't you? Obviously, like the more value you can give, the more like good you can put out into the world, it's going to come back tenfold, and it always does. Like, obviously, you've been continuing to do this.
Always. I mean, there's jobs where, you know, I'll get hired for a full day and I'll do some filming. I went to Brighton to do some filming for a client. 20 minutes I filmed. I drove down to Brighton. It was a full day's filming. 20 minutes, 20-minute interview on a teleprompter. And so I went to a friend who works for that company who lived not far from Brighton, Crowborough. So I drove to Crowborough. It's about 30 minutes. And I said, well, look, you know, your boss has paid for a full day. What videos do you want for the social media while I'm here? We filmed 8-9 videos, all 1 to 2 minute videos. But they walked away with 11 odd videos and a video that's going out on television as an advert. So I'm all about value. If someone's paid me for a full day and I'm there, and it's only going to cost me an hour or two, and it's been paid for because my fuel had been paid for as well, so that wasn't costing me. It's like, why wouldn't I not do that? If someone's paid me money, I'm going to want to give them more than just a minute. Do you know what I mean? But not a lot of people think like that. A lot of businesses go, oh, that's great. But at the same time, there are jobs where, you know, I'll go over in my own time and go, do you know what? I'm just going to put the time and effort into this. I've obviously made a loss on this job because it's taken more time. But when you balance it between that 20 minutes of 8 hours and the job that took me an extra 2 hours, it balances out. It balances out. So as long as you're mindful of where your time is best spent, I think just be a good person is what I'm trying to say. Be a good person, Brian.
Yes, boss. Got a challenge for you.
Yes.
Okay, video people that are just starting out and want to try and create videos online. Okay, they've got this and a ring light. What do you do?
Well, first of all, you need a tripod. You can get them for about £2-3. You know, like the little flexible ones. Have I got any with me? No, I haven't. These DJI Ronin, DJI Osmos are very good for your mobile. Your mobile just literally slides straight in. Yes, it's £100. But let me just tell you, everybody at home, I bought these when nobody had them and it was £500. They're £99 now. So there's no excuse why. If you're taking video seriously, this will stabilize your videos perfectly. This will give you perfect video, and making sure that your lighting's right is really going to make your video stand out. Simply stabilizes the image, so you could be walking to the office with that. You can lock it in at the back with your finger on the trigger and it will literally just follow you and it'll lock on. So when you're walking, it's nice and it's not wobbly, because if you have wobbly video, it is going to end up distracting your audience. So you want to make sure that your audience is not being distracted. So that's the first thing: stabilization, understanding lighting, make sure that the sun is directly in front of you, not behind you, because then you're going to be in shadow. And make sure that you can be heard. So try and find a nice quiet place. If you can't find a quiet place, you can invest in a Rode clip-on mic or any clip-on mics that will connect to your phone. So it's having good sound, making sure your composition's pretty much, you're in the shot, your head's not cut off, and having good stabilization, and giving value. Make sure that when you create a video, you're actually giving them a reason to watch. Don't talk about how many pets you own, or unless you're talking to people that love animals and that's the channel that you're trying to promote. Make sure that you're not wasting people's time. So be precise, be short, and get to the point.
Sound. So, for instance, obviously, like you said, obviously, like give them a reason to watch it. That's your hook, isn't it? Like hook them in. Like, right, this is the reason you're here, and this is what I'm going to give you. So obviously, like the hook for this event is like how to launch and scale your perfect online business. Part of that is video marketing, hence why this video is out. So that's your hook. Like, this is what we're going to give you, and this is obviously, and then the content pillars that go in between. So, for instance, like as you say, like you mentioned early on, like telling the story to teach the lesson or give the value points and expand, and then finish off on a call to action that you don't chop off on LinkedIn, and you're good.
It happens.
So in terms of like, because people like, how much value do you give? Because like people go, right, Sam, so I've got me gimbal, got my phone, got my ring light, making sure the ironically I should actually be there because the window's there.
But you might want to get a diffuser just because there was too much shine on your head. So there could be sometimes too much light. So I cover this all in my course. So sometimes if you just move your head back to the window again, for people watching, his face is very white. So therefore, there's too much light. So there could be too much light, and there could be too much audio, and there could be there's loads of things. So you got to just get a balance of everything. Everything in the world will balance. So you want to make sure that, you know, if I would say if you've got a diffuser, and then this, you can get them in these bags. Here's one I prepared earlier, and then I won't open it up fully, but obviously it's got a silver, it's got a gold on the other side. No, it's not. Well, it does. It's on the inside. It's got a gold, a silver, and then on the inside you unzip it again, and it's like a big. It acts like a cloud. So basically, the great time to film outdoors is when it's overcast, not when it's sunny, because as you can see from Brian's forehead, it's going to be like glowing white like this. So a nice overcast day when it's cloudy is a great. It's like a natural diffuser. So those clouds diffuse the light to make you have a nice, perfect exposed shot. So if you're working with artificial light, like I am right now, I will probably get I mean, I'm not too bad. I mean, it's a quick setup today, but I probably might just lower the brightness on that light just to get a little bit of, just a tiniest bit. But there are loads of things in which you can do to make you stand out better. Did I answer the question? I did, didn't I?
Yeah. So it was basically, so it was like, obviously the lighting, obviously, which we spoke about, like getting decent lighting. Like I've got an artificial light on there because obviously the light up this side. This side, it's always weird when it's back to front. So yeah, I've got a light on there. Obviously, I've used the window. Usually I black out the window, but I've left it there because I didn't want to put my ring light on, because my ring light then reflects on my telly. So obviously trying to focus.
And also, for people with glasses as well, these are anti-glare. They're dirty as well, but you can get some anti-glare. I mean, I normally wear my contacts, but sometimes I wear glasses if I'm tired. I'm tired, by the way, yeah, so you know these. If you go to Specsavers and you ask for anti-glare, if you know that you create a lot of video, anti-glare. Now it does obviously give a glare, but if this didn't have the film on it, that would literally be quite bright. So to be fair, you can still see my eyes with the anti-glare. So they're good. They're usually ranges from about 20, 30 quid extra on top of your glasses. But if you are a video content creator, it's a no-brainer.
Nice. So little hacks, like obviously the anti-glare, obviously the gimbal.
I'm not sponsored by Specsavers, so I would say go to any other opticians. Like, I'm not picky on who you go to, but yeah, I just want to put that in there.
No, that makes total sense. And obviously that's the journey, isn't it? Obviously, and then quickly, while I've got you, I'm going to take this telly down because I don't really use it. What should
and you
I put
give
there
me
instead?
A telly?
No. And what else should I put there instead? Like to sort of give me some.
So let's just have a little look at mine for a second. So as you can see here, let me just move out the way of the light. So this, what does that say to you, this setup?
You are a video guy.
Yeah. So we've got a clapperboard. We've got 3 shows that I've written, filmed, directed, acted. These are all shows that I've filmed over the last 10 years. They're shows that I've created, characters that I've created. These are all old cinematic lenses, television lenses. This was used in a horror film. So this is actually given to me by another filmmaker, and it's a silicon head that actually was used in a horror film. And then we've just got things about my personality. So we've got Charlie Chaplin, who is one of my idols. And we've got a rubber ducky from New York. And then obviously we've got a little Volkswagen camper van, little toy there. So make sure, for yourself, have a little think of some of the things, like your hobbies, your interests, and maybe I would personally is the camera is it a web
it's a webcam, yeah.
So I would probably try and position it downwards a bit more. Maybe if you can move your desk a bit further away from the back because you're a bit too close to the wall, definitely get rid of the TV. Just put maybe a frame up or some artwork or something that represents you and what you do. No roller banners, absolutely no. The amount of clients that say to me, I've got a roller banner, should we put that up behind me? No, let's absolutely not do that, because we're going to put your logos on the video anyway. And we don't want loads of numbers, because your mobile number might change in a month's time. So you don't want to age the video by adding details that can be edited out with text on the screen at a later date. So yeah, get a bookshelf, put some books in there about mindset and how to grow your business, and just get things on a shelf that represent who you are and what you do. But I would definitely tilt the camera down a bit more. We're getting a bit too much space above your head. Feel like I'm training them again. What's this all about? But yeah,
hey, mate, if I'm going to do a video, I may as well take advantage.
Yeah, you could probably still knock that down a little bit more. But also, the TV is just a no-go. Absolute no-go. It just, yeah, that's spot on. Are you standing up as well?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so if you can move that desk a bit further forward, it gives you a bit more space to get maybe a bookshelf and get like one of those really cool bookshelves from IKEA. Get a couple of fake plants and then just put some books there that mean something to you, like, you know, how to grow your business or autobiographies from some of the people in business. Those are the kind you should be setting the scene for what you do. So there you go.
So, nice one. Right then.
All right.
Mate, that was perfect. Yeah, getting the right angle. No, so
invoices in the post, by the way.
Who uses the post?
I'll email it instead.
Now, before we go, obviously you've given me tons of tips. Obviously, you've been really helpful in terms of mindset, etc. throughout this whole video. You do have a course.
I have 2 courses, yeah.
So tell me the course that you recommend people starting out with and going forward with, and why.
Yeah, so the 2 courses, there's filming with smartphones. So that basically teaches you how to look at the camera lens, how to get comfortable in front of a camera. It teaches you composition, how to make sure that you're in the shot properly and you're not like up here. And it's all about how we use the rule of thirds and how we actually make sure that when we sit somewhere, people are focusing on us. We talk about backdrops, what you should have, what you shouldn't have. We talk about lighting, the difference between natural lighting, which is outside, and artificial lighting, which is a controlled lighting environment. We talk about where the light, the sun, should be when you're filming. What days are best to film? What days you shouldn't really film? And then we talk about what content. Are we storytelling? Are we added value? You know, so we talk about that. Then we talk about how you film. And then we talk about the settings on the camera. And we also talk about how we can use free editing apps to really make those videos pop with a bit of text that will grab people in. Clickbait, that's what they call it. So if I've got a video and I go, right, this video is about how to film in landscape, I'm going to put how to film in landscape. I'm going to box it off so it works for Instagram, but it's still filmed in landscape so that I have the spaces at the top and bottom to put my clickbait text on. So it's all of those things that make a massive difference. And when you build it all up into one big thing, your videos are going to be absolutely super duper.
Sounds so. Your filming with smartphones course, the transformation is your videos are going to be super duper by the end of it.
They are. And do you know what? At the end of the day, you might not feel comfortable creating those videos, but unfortunately, it's just you're going to have to work through the pain. No comedian starts off being hilarious. They take years learning crowds, understanding all the best heckles, and actually getting to a point where it's like, well, I've been doing this 10 years now. I know how to shut a heckler up. No comedian starts off amazing. They have to go through a 10-year struggle, 5-year struggle to actually start really get into the fun stuff. And it's the same with video. You're going to have to just create a few rough videos, but the more you do, the better you'll get, the more you'll learn. And always, every time you create a video, make sure that you get a notepad and pen and write down the things you did like and the things that you didn't like, and then focus on the things you didn't like and make sure you go, right, I'm going to be mindful not to flat with my hands on this next video. And the more you do, the better you'll get. But only you can do that. I can only teach to a certain degree. It comes down to you. Only you can get the best out of the course by putting the time and effort in.
Absolutely love it. So, Mike, thank you so much for obviously coming on, giving loads of value. I know obviously you are covered in sand and need a shower.
Because I've been beach boxing. Been up since 6 a.m. I only had 4 hours sleep. Not bad for 4 hours sleep, eh?
Nah, I'll take that, mate. It must be the lighting.
It's definitely lighting. Definitely lighting.
So thank you so much, buddy. And for everyone who's watched and catching the replay, 100%, any questions, drop them in the comments and I'll just get them back to Mike, or Michael, should I say, and he will obviously answer them. And if you want, guys, that filming with smartphones course, go on.
I was just going to say that obviously in the next 48 hours from when this video goes out, if anyone does jump on the course within this 48 hours, I will give them an hour free with me to go over with me on Zoom or meet up if they're local to actually answer any questions, purely free. Damn! What, is that good?
That's beautiful, mate.
Is that good?
Great. That's a great value add. So no, guys, the link
Didn't he?
will
I
be.
thought that was just natural, but okay, I'll go with that.
Yeah, the link will be in the first link in the YouTube description. So if you want that film with smartphones course plus that extra hour with Michael one-to-one, obviously to get your videos up and running to a quality standard, hit that first link in the YouTube description and hang around in the next 5 minutes, guys. If you are watching live, the next one with June Lowe about live video marketing. So we're going to go straight, keep with the videos for now. It will be on in 5 minutes, and we will see you guys soon.